Hey, how's it going? Thanks for stopping by. So, it's been a while now that I wanted to do this video. We were getting close to 1,000 subscribers, and I thought, that'd be a great time to do this. So, first off, we did hit our 1,000 subscribers on Valentine's Day. So, I want to say thank you a whole lot for that. That's not really the reason we started this channel, but it is cool to watch this grow and to know that people enjoy the stuff we're putting out and people enjoy the stuff that we do. So, with that being said, I wanted to put out a video for basically all the subscribers, specifically the new ones. Just kind of do one video, kind of recap everything that's happened to us in the last year. I put my first YouTube video out on February 27th of 2020, and so much has changed since that day and since actually 2020 started. 2020 was both the best year of my life, filled with some of the best days of my life and super high points in my life and in my wife's life. And 2020 kind of ended on a very low point for us. And so we'll hit that kind of in order of the way that things happen. So, first off, where does this story begin? We'll try and make it quick. This might be two parts. I hope it isn't, but it's hard to fit a whole year's worth of events into a short video. But here we go. We'll try our best, and I hope you guys can make it through. So, first off, November of 2019, my fiance at the time and myself were looking for some land. We both grew up in the country. She grew up raising chickens, kind of in a wooded area. Her dad has a beautiful 9 or 10 acres out that way. I grew up with livestock. My mom trained horses. It didn't matter what it was. She did some stuff for some people with draft horses, but my mom, paints, quarters, it did not matter. She gave riding lessons. My dad had draft mules, kind of like your Amish pulling teams. So that was my kind of bringing up. Just always outside, always outdoors, always around animals. So my wife and I actually dated in high school. Kind of went our separate ways. Nothing, just whatever happened. Went our separate ways. And my wife and I actually caught up with each other at our 10-year high school reunion. I know that sounds very Disney-esque, as some people have told us, but that's the way it happened. She was coming off of a marriage. I had some relationships that just didn't work out. I don't do the whole long distance thing, so that was part of it, and that's just the way life goes. But I believe that life kind of has a path it wants you to follow. So, met up with my wife again. Funny story there. We actually went out. A friend of mine and her husband convinced me, hey, if this reunion party is dumb, how about we all grab a couple friends and we dip out and we head to your boat? At the time, we had my dad, my brother, and I had a 31 or 33 foot Sea Ray. I don't remember, cabin cruiser. So the reunion was like typical reunion, after a while, everyone's like kind of finding a reason to leave. So my friend Trish and her husband Jeremy and some other friends, we dipped out to the boat, went for a nice ride, and the only single people on the boat were myself and my wife, my future wife. And I'd known her parents most of my life. Her dad actually used to be a Cub Scout leader of mine. And funny story, her brother put me in intensive care when I was in 6th grade. He hit me in the leg when we were playing broomstick hockey. A couple weeks later, it got infected. And bada boom, bada bing, finished out 6th grade in the hospital. So every time I see my stepfather, I try and remind him about that as a joke, like, hey, you can pay that bill back now. But he's an amazing guy, and he's far surpassed that hospital bill. He loves to buy guns and ammunition and scopes for us, and I'll take that all day long. But, so we had moved in together, and I had a house that I had bought when I was kind of a bachelor. On a third of an acre, nice house, quiet little cul-de-sac, but I lived there about three years, and I was like, can't do it anymore. I need to get back in the country. So we've been looking at land, and if you guys know, good land is hard to find. And we looked at buying just bare ground and building a house and this, that, and the other. And I've always wanted kind of that mix of woods and open ground. You just have a million possibilities. So my mom, love her to death, was sending us every property she could find. And one day my fiance was like, we should go check this out. And here to find out, this property was only 5 minutes from my old house, and I had never been down this road in my whole life. And the first day we drove down it, Amber fell in love with this property. I have a beautiful stepdaughter, and I believe she was 5 at the time. She might have been 4 at the time. She looked at me when we were leaving, and she goes, "You're not buying this place, are you?" And I go, "I don't know, kiddo, why?" She goes, "It looks trashy." Now, full disclosure, the people we bought this house from are very fantastic people. They helped us out. I hope that we had helped them out in a way and take care of their family's property. We are the first people to live on this property since the original family or descendants that had kind of homesteaded this in the 1800s. And it's kind of cool. I have all the paperwork on that, so pretty cool on that. But, we promised them that we would take care of the homestead, and they don't live that far away from here. So, it's just kind of that close thing. And they said, we kind of look at you guys as like a second family. We want to be friends. This isn't just a selling a house transaction. But their dad, who lived here, was an older preacher farmer, and he'd go to auctions and he'd buy stuff and just never got around to fixing some of this stuff up. So it was a big cleanup. And I saw all the work that needs to be done. Meanwhile, Amber looked at this place as a diamond in the rough and what it could be. And for a while, I was like, nope, just couldn't wrap my head around it. And then we came out to look at it again, and I knew we were going to buy it. We walked the property line. This is roughly 20 acres. It was Veterans Day 2019. It started snowing and sleeting and raining, and it's just turned into an awful day. We're walking through thick woods that hasn't been hunted in 20, 30 years. It's overgrown in some spots, and it was a walk, in the rain and the snow, to walk the property line of 20 acres. And we have a 900-foot lane that leads back to the house, and we were walking back to get in the truck and leave, and she goes, "I lost my phone." I said, "What do you mean you lost your phone?" Like, gentleman I am, when it started raining and snowing, I keep one of my good duck hunting coats in the truck, waterproof zippers, you name it. Gave it to my wife. I just had a hoodie on. It's like 32 degrees out and temperature's dropping. I said, "What do you mean you lost your phone?" She goes, "I don't know where it is." Now, if you've ever been in the woods when it's sleeting and snowing on the leaves on the ground, it's loud. Almost as loud as this kiddo in the background. And so we happened to retrace our steps, and somehow we found that phone. I don't know how, because you couldn't hear the ringer. It was just by happenstance we found the phone. So we pick up the phone, and we're going back to the truck, and I look at Amber, and I go, "That's an omen, isn't it? We're going to buy this property." And she goes, "Yeah, it is. I'll go buy you lunch." So we, Veterans Day 2019, called my aunt, who's a realtor. We decided to throw our house up on the market. I think it hit the market I'm not sure what's going on out there. But hit the market mid-December. And we had to close down showings for about a week because Amber and I got married in the Caribbean on early January of 2020. And 2020 itself was rough for me. I woke up on New Year's Day to a text message from one of my best friends informing me that one of my really good buddies had died in a car accident the night before. And it was just like, I just couldn't believe it. And then I went through Snapchats and actually had a bunch of Snapchats that I hadn't opened yet because it was after I went to bed of my buddy right before he died. So I was just crushed. That's my whole January 1st. January 2nd, we all jumped on a plane to go to my wedding, which my buddy originally had thought about going to. And So like the day I got married is the day that my buddy's funeral. And I was just kind of, the happiest day of my life. I'm on this beautiful beach in the Caribbean with close family and friends, and just knowing that in the back of your mind that you're missing your buddy's funeral, it's kind of hard to deal with. I had actually called his family that day, and told them I had felt kind of guilty for being at my own wedding, and they said no, he'd want you to be there. So that was how my 2020 started, and actually that green duck call up there belonged to him. We were good duck hunting buddies. And I actually had that duck call, that green zinc duck call, in my pocket the day I got married. We got married on a beach, like I said. As we were walking off the beach, my brother and I stopped. Everybody kind of stopped. I pulled out that duck call. And I can guarantee you, I'm the only person that was on that beach at that time in the Caribbean blowing a mallard duck call. But miss that dude all the time. Just great dude. But, sometimes life happens to people way too young. But, we kind of had a wedding honeymoon all in one, a beautiful cruise. Came back, found out that we'd had a couple offers on the house. We accepted an offer and started that whole process. And, that went fairly quick. So, got married, got back, mid-January. They wanted me to make some changes to the house, which we did. There was some changes on this house that we requested be made. So those things take time. We sold our house, I think, on March 6th, signed the papers. March 7th, met and signed on this property. Like I said, the people we bought it from are pretty cool. We already had the keys for it. So we were already kind of moving stuff. And I just knew, the house isn't exactly what you dream of when you kind of buy your forever property. But that can be changed, right? Excuse me. So my wife just kept reminding me, it's kind of the diamond in the rough. It's our dream property. We have to jump on it. So took a leap of faith, sold my house. Housing market was good. Put a really big chunk of change down on this. And lived here for a couple weeks and realized we're gonna need a tractor. Talked to my wife. My wife's so cool, and she's like, whatever we need, just get it. It doesn't matter. Like, we have the money, go for it. Let me say, I did take my wife to the Kubota dealer twice. I'm pretty sure my wife is the Kubota dealer's favorite wife of all times. Because usually when a guy will take their wife in to buy, a toy, or whether it be a Harley or a boat or a tractor, it's a little bit of apprehension there. My wife said, let me see which one it is. The dealer threw her the key. My wife started up on the showroom floor. The sales guy and my wife were talking about the tractor. My wife, I was like, man, I haven't even started the tractor yet. My wife's already on it. And it was there. And she looked at me and she goes, are you sure this is the one you want? Like, you don't want anything bigger? And I was like, no, I'm happy. I'm happy. And the sales guy was like, no, he needs the big one over here at the cab, But my wife, she runs that tractor. She runs a chainsaw. She runs a log splitter. There's nothing that I do that she doesn't do. It's kind of the way I was raised. It's the way she raised. I was raised that there's no such thing as woman's work. If there's stuff to be done, you jump in and do it. And she's kind of the same way. If there's something I can do around here, she wants to know how to do it also, which really paid off towards the end of the story.